Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore. Today let us understand the Malefics. Here, today we are defining the Malefics for the ascendant sign of Sagittarius. We call these as the four corners, one of the ascendants of the four corners. This is a usual way we talk in the South Indian perspective of astrology, because the South Indian box, we put a box, we put a square box for astrology. We put this. So when we put this Kundali, the Rashi chart, the zodiac, we have four corners. That is the Pisces. Then we have Gemini. Then we have Virgo, and then that is Sagittarius. So when Sagittarius is one of the corners, so that's why we call that as a corner. For Sagittarius, we can see that Jupiter as the ascendant lord becomes the Kendra lord, being the first lord and the fourth lord. It owns two Kendras. That means it acquires Kendra Adipatya dosha. Though being the ascendant lord, it has to be a super benefic for that particular ascendant. But as it acquires Kendra Adipatya dosha, it acquires that malefic tendency. So what is this malefic tendency, what it acquires? Does it do anything bad to him or that native? It does not do anything bad, but it prevents good things from happening on time. And how does it prevent? It makes the native himself or herself, becoming a hurdle. Like for example, I'll give you an example. Let's say that a person has got, has cleared 3 interviews. It happens generally in most cases that they clear 2 or 3 interviews. They get confused as to which one to join. They select the toughest one because it's the most challenging one. And they knew from the start that it was the most difficult one, the one for them to achieve. And they want to do it. They want to prove something. And they join that job. They forego the job A and job B. They join job C. After 1 or 2 months, they leave that job because they are not able to handle the stress. And who did this? The native himself. So this is because of their own choices the native makes, and the thought of taking, the choice between making the choice between A, B, and C was entirely the natives. That is what is Lagnadipati. So that is the malefic difficulty what the Lagnadipati gives. So that is the only malefic thing what the Kendradipatya dosha, what Jupiter will give to the Sagittarius ascendant. Going to the second house, we have Saturn as the second and the third lord. Many people think that Saturn is an extreme malefic for Jupiter. Obviously, it is a malefic. When both Jupiter and Saturn sit together, they are considered as wary or enemies. But for Sagittarius, being the second lord and the third lord, it is a friend and a neutral. It is a neutral actually. It is no more an enemy. And in certain placements, Saturn will give excellent benefic results for Sagittarius ascendant. Keep it in mind, if Saturn is placed in the 6th for Sagittarius, because we all know that Saturn and Sun, when they are placed in the 3rd house, the 6th house and the 11th house, they give excellent results. This is what we know from malefic planetary placements. We know that Saturn and Sun both are what we call as natural malefics. And if they are placed in the 3rd, 6th and the 11th from any given ascendant, in generalistic perspective, they give excellent results. And in this case, the 3rd house falls in Saturn's Mula Trikona. The 6th house falls in Saturn's own friend's house, beautiful Taurus. The 11th house falls in Saturn's exaltation. Why would not anybody want Saturn to be placed in its Mula Trikona, in its friend's house, or in Saturn's exaltation? So, depending on the placement of Saturn, Saturn can be entirely benefic or moderately malefic. So, I would not call Saturn a prime malefic for this ascendant at all. I would rather call Saturn, a choice of a benefic planet depending on its placement. So, depending on its placement, you should decide as to whether Saturn is malefic or benefic for this ascendant sign of Sagittarius. Don't jump into conclusions telling that Saturn, oh, it's going to destroy this ascendant. Nothing like that. So, going next, we will be encountering the 5th house, that is Aries, and the Lord of Aries is Mars. And Mars has 2 lordships, the 5th and the 12th. Being the 12th lord, Mars becomes a negative planet for this ascendant. Triksthanadipati. The Triksthanas are the malefic houses, the 6th, 8th and the 12th. The 6th giving a lot of sorrow, pain, diseases. The 8th giving a lot of physical difficulties, going through atrocities, humiliation, defamation, a lot of court cases, litigations. The 12th going through imprisonments, displacement, homelessness, a lot of bad things, hospitalization. So the 12th house, Mars is the lord of the 12th house. It's a Triksthanadipati. Yes, it's 50% malefic. But because it is a Trikona lord and because it is the Mula Trikona, Aries, it wipes out the negativities. It's only 25% negative and 75% positive. So, try to understand, Saturn is 50% positive and Mars, which people, mythically, in astrology, they think that it's an excellent planet for Sagittarius. No, it's not an excellent planet for Sagittarius. In many cases, Mars gives dire circumstances the person has to go through. Mars in the 8th house for Sagittarius, very dangerous, very tough placement because it gets debilitated there. And it's a Triksthana, an 8th lord, the 12th lord sitting in the 8th house giving rise to Viparita Raja Yoga. People think that Viparita Raja Yoga means they are only concerned about the Raja Yoga part. It tells Raja Yoga, oh, kingly, fantastic, I am going to be a king. Viparita means the opposite to a Raja Yoga. Viparita, extremities, negative Raja Yoga, going reverse of a Raja Yoga. So it is not Raja Yoga. You go down, fall down, go deep, touch the bottom, and then rise up in life. Who wants to go through that experiment in life? Nobody wants to. So that is Viparita Raja Yoga. So anyway, with malefics, Mars is a 25% negative planet for Sagittarius. So going ahead, Venus, the 6th and the 11th lord, is a prime malefic for this particular ascendant. And why? Rogasthanadipati, Triksthanadipati. Triksthana, 6th house, I had explained you earlier. Very tough. Rogasthana, 6th house is also a lot of diseases. 11th house is the 6th from the 6th, Rogat, Rogasthana. 6th from the 6th. You count 6 houses from the 6th house, you get 11th house. It is once again Rogat Rogasthana, very dangerous because it controls the 6th house. And Venus is a soft planet. When you are having a soft planet owning the 6th house, you are prone to big problems with regard to diseases if that planet is badly associated in the chart. So for Sagittarius, if Venus is badly posited, then there might be difficulties in the health. So that is a prime malefic. Venus is a prime malefic for Sagittarius Ascendant. So next, going ahead, we have Mercury, which is the lord of the 7th house and the 10th house. Being the lord of the 10th house and the Karaka for the 10th for Kali Yuga, it should be great planet for this ascendant of Sagittarius. But you should also remember that for dual sign, the 7th lord becomes the Bhadaka Sthana Adhipati. That means Mercury itself will become a Bhadaka. Bhadaka means a planet which becomes a hurdle to any small things. It's like you want to do something, there is somebody coming in between, some situation coming in between. You want to finalize something, something else will happen in between. It is a Bhadaka. It's a hurdle. It might be a small hurdle or a big hurdle. Here, it's a small hurdle because it's Mercury, a small planet. But hurdle is a hurdle. It will be there. So, the 7th lord, Mercury, being the lord of Gemini, will give a lot of business opportunities to this Sagittarius because Sagittarius itself is a strong business ascendant. And because it is the Karmasthana from when you see, not Karmasthana, Dharmasthana, it's a 9th house from Aries. And if you see 9th from Aries and 7th from the 9th, you get Gemini. Fantastic business opportunity for Sagittarius. So, the combination of Jupiter and Mercury in certain cases, in certain placements, can be considered as a Gajakesari Yoga. In many texts, it has been given. In old texts, I am talking not about the new ones. In very, very old texts, that it has been referred equivalent to Moon Jupiter. That is, Mercury Jupiter is as good as Moon Jupiter. And it is better than Moon Jupiter because Mercury has the strength of calculation, mathematics, speed, wit, manipulation, which Moon doesn't have. So Mercury is very fast. So that's good for the Kali Yuga, for business, for investments, for marketing and banking, finance, economics, statistics. So these two fellows, one is finance, one is economics, both joining together, they can be excellent bankers. They can do very good in business. But still, Mercury is a negative planet for this Lagna, being a Kendra Adhipati. It owns two Kendras, the 7th and the 10th. So it becomes a Kendra Adhipatya Dosha Karaka. That means it is a quadrant lord and it gives dosha. It becomes malefic. And it's a Bhadaka Adhipati, as I told you, because it is the 7th from a dual sign. So because of these two problems, Mercury can be considered as a 50% benefic and a 50% malefic for this chart. So the next planet is Moon. Moon is the 8th lord. Now the problem is that Gajakesari Yoga for Sagittarius, what to do with this? The 8th lord sitting along with the ascendant lord. Sir, will this give very good thing for us? People should understand that there are many areas of life. Don't think that one area of life, if it is good, that doesn't mean that all the areas of life is good. Or don't think that if there is a combination, if there is a Raja Yoga, that doesn't mean that all the areas of life will be influenced by that Raja Yoga and everywhere else it will be showering you blessings. Nothing like that. There are there are chances that, there are not chances, it is very clearly proven that a person can excel very well in professional life and can be hopelessly bad in personal life. Or he can be very good in personal life and very bad in professional life. It is happening. You people can see that in your life. And how come that's happening? That's because of these types of combinations, 8th Lord sitting along with Ascendant Lord in the 10th house. Beautiful combination for Gajakesari Yoga, for Sagittarius in the Kanya Rashi, that is Virgo, can give excellent professionalism and heights of earnings. They can become super rich, but professional life is very good, personal life is tough. Moon being the 8th lord, and only because it is the 8th lord, will be 50% yoga karaka and 50% malefic. Coming to sun, being the 9th lord, it is the soul 100% yoga karaka for this Sagittarius ascendant. But the problem is, alone sun cannot provide any Raja Yoga. The luminaries are having one particular problem. They cannot alone, single-handedly, give any Raja Yoga. They have to be associated with one or the other planet. Like, for example, sun is there along with Jupiter. In, let us say, Leo, fantastic Raja Yoga. Or let us say in Aries, super Raja Yoga. If there is a little gap, it's not that Jupiter gets combust. If there is a little gap, let's say around 7 degrees, Jupiter and Sun are around 8 degrees or 7 degrees apart from Sun, then it gives rise to a super strong Raja Yoga, and the person will be very wealthy, spiritualistically wealthy, ethically wealthy. This is a very strong yoga of Dharma, because Sun is Dharma. So 100% benefic is Sun, and the only planet which is 100% benefic is Sun for this Lagna. So thank you very much for today's class.